What's going on? It's been a little while. Running a new format here, got some cool lighting, just waiting on the whiteboard to get here, but we're not gonna let that stop us. So what today's video is all about is why you need to be offering your clients lawn maintenance services, specifically mowing and cleanups, the really entry-level stuff. And if you are someone who already does this in your business, you're probably thinking, great, I'm out of here, I already do this. Well, just wait, don't close out the video yet. You're going to learn some things that you need to apply into your business to make a lot more money. I can almost guarantee that it'll make you more money just by investing a little bit of time in this video. So this video is actually going to be a quick little preview of what's to come in Entrepreneurship 101, which is our course that's opening up here in a few days. We're going to dive deep into why you need to be offering these services from a marketing and a recurring revenue standpoint, and how focusing on those services can really help your business with reducing your advertising costs to be able to get more customers from the ones that you already have. Because a lot of times when guys are just starting out, they're just happy enough to have clients paying them money to do some super basic stuff, because that's the exact position I was in. It cost me almost probably $10,000 or $20,000 in my first year because I didn't talk to my clients enough about the other stuff that we offer. Had I done the things that we're teaching here in this video, I would have easily made another 10 to 20, if not 30 or $40,000 in my first year in business, and it cost me big time. And looking back, that really kind of sucks. So let's get into the lesson. Welcome into the lawn maintenance service section of the course. In this quick little intro video, we're going to basically explain the process of how we teach you to do each one of these services, how to effectively and efficiently perform each of these services on your clients' properties. We're also going to explain the reason to why we offer these services to our clients, because it's not just about making our clients' properties look good and being able to say our stripes are the best in the world, and yes, that's important, but there are two other reasons that are more important than that you need to be focused on as a business owner, because we don't want to be just shooting from the hip, so to speak, when it comes to business and hoping we do something and then make money from it. We need to be calculated and precise with the actions that we are taking in our business in order to make sure we are profitable. So the first reason is that maintenance is a gateway service. We've all heard gateway drugs and all that sort of stuff, but this is in a different context. This is in a good context, because we can upsell our clients into higher ticket services and more profitable services. So you're probably wondering, what the heck did I just say? So for example, let's just say you have a client paying you $200 a month to cut the grass, and as long as you educate your clients properly on all the services that you offer, because this cost me big time in year one, because we rolled up to a client's property to cut their grass and that was the only service we were doing for them. However, we got there and there was a landscape company working there, and it was much bigger than mine was at that time, and they were building a patio, a retaining wall with landscapes all around the patio and shrubs and a couple small trees as well. And I just thought, man, what the heck are we doing wrong? We were here every week, yet we didn't even get a chance to bid on this project or anything. We didn't even know the project was happening. And then all of a sudden we show up and then there's a whole crew out there working, and I honestly thought, like, oh, this sucks. So I ended up talking to the client, and she said, yeah, we didn't even know you guys offered those services. And then I just thought, basically one of those facepalm moments where you realize, okay, I didn't educate my clients enough. I didn't even tell them that we did this work. So I screwed up. And in business, you really need to be the one that takes the blame for issues that happen in your business, because at the end of the day, it's your fault that something goes wrong, but it's also your fault if something goes right. So be sure to let your clients know about all the services that you offer, because at that very point in time when you're meeting with them, they may only be thinking about signing up for mowing, but a couple months or 6 months or a year down the road, they may be interested in having all their landscaping removed and replaced, and there, boom, an extra $5,000 to your company rather than somebody else. So there was a big mistake that we made. But this may not be the case with every client, but there are going to be a lot of clients that if they're willing to pay money to have their lawn cut, first off, they trust you, they trust your company, and if you're doing good quality work, they're going to stay with you. But they're also wanting to probably have a green lawn and a weed-free lawn throughout the year, as well as they probably have their kids out there playing in the lawn and it tramples it down, and they want to have aerating services. So that right there increases the value of that client by $500 a year. For mowing 6 months, that's $1,200. That increases the value of that client by almost 45%, or right around that. That's huge, because you didn't have to spend any more money to acquire another client. And the same can be said when you have a client that is interested in a landscape installation. This is where it can pay off big time, is because you have a client that wants to do, whether it's a small project that's $1,000 or $2,000 or upwards of $10,000 or $20,000, Once you have a client that you did not have to spend any more money to get, you are actually making money off of them. After a few months with mowing, you should certainly have broken even on your advertising cost. You will have made just a crap ton of money. Let's say you have a $10,000 job and the margin is 10 to 30%. That's an extra $1,000 to $3,000 profit that you made off that client. That's huge. That is why we need to offer these services, because in the long run, it means more money. But you need to understand the process of how that all works. So gateway service equals more money over the long term. So the next reason, recurring revenue every single month. Taking our example from the last slide of $200 a month for mowing, 6 months worth of mowing, every single month that $200 check is coming in, or that $200 credit card payments, whatever method you're using in your business that's coming in. That way, when you have 20 or 30 of these coming in every single month, you now know exactly how much is going to be coming in. And for the most part, you're going to know how much is going to be going out in the way of expenses. Obviously, there are going to be breakdowns that happen, but that's why you budget for that. So that is the other big reason that we need to be offering these services. And the last one is make your clients' properties look amazing. If you are totally brand new to the industry, you may not have even really paid attention to this, but we want our clients' lawns to basically look like a Major League Baseball outfield. This picture here on the left is probably one of my absolute favorite lawns I've ever caught in my entire life. This was taken with my cell phone, and it was actually the day I graduated college. We did a dethatch on it and had the sun angle totally perfect. So there's another thing. If you're taking pictures of your clients' properties and doing for your websites or for your marketing, make sure you take it with the sun angle behind you, so that way it looks a lot better than when you are taking it with the sun facing you, because it's going to look really bad in that case. And so this picture here on the right was a fall cleanup at a commercial property. So the grass is cut really low because as the season draws to the end, we cut lower and lower to cut down on snow mold and other things that can come about through the winter. So now how do we go about doing all this stuff? So now leading into how this training is all going to pan out. We're going to cover a variety of services, and if you've never done any lawn care services, you're going to learn the ins and out of everything, and probably more than you even wanted to know in the first place. But we're going to be covering in depth how to do all the work and how to increase efficiency when mowing, doing spring and fall cleanups, dethatching, fertilizing, weed control, core aerating, and overseeding. And we're going to be taking a systematic approach similar to an assembly line. I know we just drilled this into your head in the landscape installation section, but it's something that you just have to do because that's how you become profitable and how you stay profitable. Even though every single job and property is usually just a little bit different, the work needs to be done in the same manner, such as where on the property you start working, the direction that you're driving your equipment, how to turn around the mower without blowing grass into the beds, so that way you don't have to spend as much time blowing out the landscaping, then everything and anything in between that. So that way your business is profitable. So how each service is laid out. We'll have a rating scale for the difficulty level of each type of job, with 1 being relatively simple, all the way up to a 5 being really complicated, requiring some research prior to pricing and completing the job. There are no maintenance services that are at that level 5, but take into account that nearly every single project and job is a little bit different, so the difficulty levels shown are just as a general guide. You may be mowing some insanely steep areas where things are going to be tricky and you're going to have to really think and plan out before you do anything on that property. So performing these services can be very profitable, but you need to be aware that you are handling potentially dangerous chemicals and elements at times, such as fertilizer and weed control chemical. You need to be wearing the proper personal protective equipment, otherwise known as PPE. You need to be wearing work shoes and work boots, safety glasses, whether they're sunglasses or regular, ear protection, so headphones or ear muffs, a dust mask if you're doing anything with cleanups or doing fertilizer. Eye protection is absolutely key no matter what you're doing, and you'll definitely need to wear work gloves or even rubber gloves if you are doing fertilizer or weed control, depending on your state's laws. So let's hop into it and start things off with mowing.